In this video we will discover the selection tools in Blender into edit mode. So what we will do, we will just select everything as usual, almost, and remove everything. And we will add with Shift A here a UV sphere. So this UV sphere will allow me to show you a little more of the selection tools here. So I will go into orthographic mode and I will go with tab into edit mode. And now I have access to my vertices, my edges and my faces. Good. So I will deselect everything and select everything. This is the first selection tool, okay? First selection tool, you select everything with A and you deselect everything with A. If it's not enabled for you, you will deselect with Alt A, okay? By default it will be Alt A, but if you go there into preferences, into input, you will have the possibility, not input but key map, sorry, you will have the possibility to select orthogonal. So when this is enabled, you have just the possibility with A and A to select and deselect everything, okay? So with the left click, you select. Nothing crazy. And then you have three possibilities to add with the left click. You have the possibility to add the Shift key and it will allow you to make a multiple selection. We did see this already in object mode, okay? So with Shift click, you will can just select, add to the selection. If you use the control, it will make the link between the two selection, so the two clicks. So if you make the first click here and the second click here, it will make the line between the two, okay? But if you have, for example, a click there and a click there, it will make a line like that, okay? And so like this you can just create selections easily, just like that, okay? So one click, and it will create the selection between the two, okay, as you can see here. And now the Alt left click. The Alt left click is very important. We'll use it a lot during the training. It will can select a loop. So what is a loop? Basically it's a line of vertices that cross themselves and finish like a kind of circle, okay? Here we have an edge loop all around the sphere like that, okay? And we have a lot of edge loops here all around. So if I make Alt left click between two vertices of an edge loop, it will select the edge loop, okay? So here, as you can see, it works very well because it's quads and Blender can define, because we don't have triangles or hangons, Blender can define that, okay, this is a loop, it continues itself. But here you can see we have some triangles, and this is why it's important to, if possible, not model with triangles. You can see here we have triangles on the top there that join into only one point here. So if I make a selection here with Alt left click, you can see that it will stop there, because, okay, Blender knows how to go, where to go there, and after this, it has so much multiple choices that it doesn't know where to go. The same kind of process if I just make a selection here, okay, let's say a big selection like that, and I will create some triangles there. So I will triangulate faces to have only triangles there, okay? Usually it's not something you do if you cannot do it. And here, if I make Alt right click, you can see that, okay, it can continue until here, but after it's triangles and it's too much possibilities to go. So where to go? I go there, there. So Blender cannot design and it stops here. That's why it's important to model as much as possible with loops. Talking about loops, if we just do Ctrl Z a few times, okay, here it's a basic loops that you can find because it's a circle and these circles create a face, but with more, let's say, organic structures like Suzanne, for example, we have a lot of loops inside Suzanne too, even if it's not circles, okay? So here, for example, there is a loop that crosses everything, okay? Here, there is a loop too. Same with that one. There is a loop. Stops here, okay? And same with there, maybe. We have a loop that crosses itself, so it becomes a little strange here. But we have a loop there too, around the ear, okay? So you have a lot of loops in Suzanne like that. Here around the eyes you have some, here too, okay? So to have a kind of simple selection tool, loops are very important to understand because it will help you to have quick selection during your process of modeling after, okay? So Alt left click, very important one. Then we will go with little shortcuts. Not a lot. Actually, you will have, let's say 4 to remember. The first one is the B. B is the box selection tool. You have it by default already here, and if you click and drag outside of the surface, it will just create a box selection like that. But if you want to deselect a part, like for example, if you are in front view, let's say, and you select everything like this, okay, and you would like to unselect a part like this part in the middle, you will call it with the B and use the middle button mouse, okay, and it will remove some of the selection, okay? So this you cannot make it with that one, or you have to activate this, yeah. But what is good is to remember the B shortcut and the B shortcut with the middle mouse button that will remove what you want, okay? And yeah, something important too, when you make a selection like this with the B tool, you can notice that when you look into the other side of the object, the selection is not active at all. So we didn't select here. To select here, you have to go into wireframe view with Z. You go with wireframe view, and as it's transparent, you can just select everything and it will make a big selection just like that. So if you want to make your selections over the surface, you have to go into wireframe view. This is an important one too. So with the B shortcut, you can select with the box tool, and with the B shortcut and the middle mouse, you can unselect, okay? Here, B like box, C like circle. C, you can just, it will just call a kind of little tool that you can manage with the scroll mouse. You can increase or decrease it, and you will paint your selection. So very simple one. And when it's finished, you click on enter, okay? But let's say if you want to remove some of the selection, you can still add with the left key like that. But if you want to remove, you will just use the middle mouse key, and you can like this make selections that you want very easily. So what is good with this tool is that you can create big selections like that or little, and to be more precise. So C like circle. Then we have the Control Y. Control Y will invert your selection. So Control Y, and I invert my selection. Good. Perfect. Something important. When we select with Alt left click here, I come back just to the left click just a little before continue. When we select with Alt left click, so it works for vertices, it works for edges too, but it works a little differently for faces. So let's say you would like to select this loop of faces here. You will not go there because it will select perpendicularly of your selection. So if you go there, it will select this one, okay? Between the two here, hop, and you will have your selection. So it works just a little differently for the faces, but it works too. I come back to vertices here. So you select something, Control Y, you invert the selection. Okay, then after you can scale it or whatever. You can do a lot of things with selections after and create a lot of shapes just with that. Yeah, Control Y. So another one that is important, and let's say I will select just a little dot here, and if I use Control plus, I will select more, and Control minus, I will select less. So very handy one. So let's say I have this selection and I will duplicate it, like the little hat I did for Suzanne, and I will just scale it up a little. Okay, good. So now I have two islands of vertices, two geometries into the same object. It will still be a sphere here. And when I have two islands like that, I can select them directly. If I select A, I select everything, but me, I would like to select all of the vertices of that one. So I could do this and with Control plus and plus and plus and plus, and after it will stop. Okay, this works, but you can just use L. And L, it's select linked. Okay, so let's say you have an island and they are all linked vertices, so they are linked by here by edges, so they are all linked together. So you can just select this very easily with L. Okay, you just put the cursor into the geometry and L will select here the linked vertices. Then you will have the possibility to, it's not really a selection tool, this one, but it's an handy tool that helps you to work. Like for example here under the geometry, you can see in wireframe mode we have some geometry under still, and I would like to access this geometry. And okay, if I go into wireframe mode, I can access to it, but it's not really easy. I still have the other vertices in front of me. I cannot see well. So okay, let's go back into solid mode, and I will just make a selection like that, and with Control plus I will select this, let's say, and with H I will just hide the selection. Okay, a little like in object mode, so it's somewhere, hide it, and you can access for the you can access to this now and make maybe a scale, or I don't know, a GZ maybe, to have a kind of shape like that, let's say. And now when you finish your work there, you just make Alt H, and like this the geometry is coming back, and you made your modification just without any problem. Okay, so now I have this kind of geometry under. Okay, so important one, as I said, it's not really a selection tool, H and Alt H, but they are important. So remember, left click, Control left click, you make the link, Shift left click, you add some selection, Alt left click, you will make here the loop, and with B you have the box, the C you have the circle. Okay, the Control Y you will invert a selection, L you will select an island, and H and Alt H to hide and unhide. Okay, so we have basically all the selection tools here, and it will help us a lot to create some projects after. So in the next video we will have a look on extrusion and face creation.